There's a block. The kicker to beat inside of him. He's got the speed. He's going to go all the way. Pressure comes. They get to him. He's down back at the 22-yard line. He's got it open. Forward. Touchdown. Kellen Clemens.
Oregon football with Mike Bellotti.
Anderson straight drop back to throw. With time. Way downfield, and it is intercepted at the 38. Back to the 50. 40. Down the sideline to the 30. J.D. Nelson inside the 20. Clemens back to throw the ball. Into the end zone. Wide open. Tim Day touchdown. A bullet strike to Tim Day.
Well, right there was a little bit of hope. Glimmer of hope there, down by 6 in the third quarter. Still a ball game, but ultimately it came down to Oregon State being able to move the football through the air. Disappointing loss, disappointing way to end the season, Coach.
Absolutely. I think give credit to Oregon State. Derek Anderson and Mike Hass were an unstoppable combination yesterday, and we did not have any answers for them. We didn't throw the ball as well as we needed to. We didn't protect as well, and they moved the ball at will at times. They had a couple long drives. I think, again, that interception by J.D. certainly gave us a huge lift in the second half and cut that down. We were able to score on that. Did some good things, and I thought early on we matched them intensity-wise, but later on they really threw the ball well. Derek Anderson making great choices. Mike Hass making some great catches, and they distributed the ball well, and we had no answer for that.
Did they do anything differently maybe that you weren't expecting, or was it just a case of better execution?
Better execution. I think, again, they have done what they did all year long. We saw some of the routes. We knew what we were going to get. And we were close. A couple times we were in really good position, but Derek threw some great passes that were only catchable. They were in the right place, and I give him a lot of credit. He has been maligned oftentimes in his career, but he's played very well against us 2 of the 3 times we've seen him.
Is momentum of a season an overrated thing? In other words, they had momentum coming into this game. Your team didn't. Did that factor into this at all?
Yeah, I think you can look at that. I'm not really sure. I think momentum is created within a game itself. I think it's the ebb and flow within a game. Is there a mindset coming in? Yes, but I felt like that was basically equal. I think they had only really won 1 game in a row. So I think that's all that you look at. We had lost a couple of close games that were very winnable. I think that, does it wear on you a little bit? But more now, having lost 3 in a row at the end of the season, I think, yeah, we feel it. But going into the game, I thought we were motivated. We certainly knew what was at stake. And our seniors and a lot of our players, I think, hurt really badly about that, but we did not play well, and they did. And
from a season perspective, of course, everybody knows the first losing season in a long time, no bowl game. A little shocking, I think, and I mean, a lot of expectations on this team, and just didn't work out the way everybody thought it would.
Yeah, that's exactly true. And I was asked yesterday whether we underachieved as a team. I don't have an answer to that because did we or did we not? I don't know. And I think that at times we were overrated in some positions, and other times I think we were underrated. I think that could we have accomplished more? Absolutely. I believe this team was better than our record. Again, I can't argue that point right now. I think there were some games out there to be won by us. Certainly, there were games that maybe we were lucky to win, but we found a way. And I like the way this team battled. I've said it all along. They're a great group of kids that cared for each other and battled. We didn't always make plays, and we didn't always have answers within that scheme, to make up for something. But overall, I enjoyed it. The seniors were a hard-working group that, again, contributed to the legacy of Oregon football, and certainly it's a shame for them to go out this way.
And a nice nucleus of kids coming back next year as well, so we'll talk about that coming up a little later, but you can mention right now.
Well, yeah, I think, again, the majority of the players, and we miss a couple key people, but overall, this team coming out should be better than this year's team. Again, I think with the year of maturity, a lot of the skill position guys come back in the secondary. Again, we lose some linebackers and a couple D linemen, and obviously some offensive linemen that are going to make huge contribution, or have made huge contributions. But I do believe the nucleus of this team can be better next year.
And also a good freshman class that redshirted this year, one of the best recruiting classes ever.
Absolutely. And I'm excited about them. There's several guys that can make a difference for us. And some true freshmen that played this year, I think, will just get that much better. But I like some of the redshirt freshmen. We can probably talk about them later. But I hope that their development and their drive and their frustration in terms of watching and this season not going the way we wanted will force them. We're going to have a little meeting quickly and get going on next season.
Well, let's get on to the highlights and get this thing over with, and then start thinking about next season. That's what we're going to do. So go to the first quarter. A lot of emotion. Coach, you said you guys had a great week of practice.
Well, yeah, it was a very focused week of practice. A lot of times last week of practice, you worry about the kids screwing around. We had none of that. There was some fun, but it was, again, in the context of getting ready for the game.
And great weather for the game as well, so that was not a factor at all. And Oregon running the ball, and then Terrence had 3 yards, and then Kellen scrambling here. Keith Ellison gets him, so a quick 3 and out for the Beavers. And then they get it, and first down, they go right away. This kind of set the tone that he was going to be able to run a little bit.
Well, we have not done a very good job the past 3 games of containing the quarterback. I think we've tried to rush the quarterback so hard we've forgotten our pass rush lanes and allowed some immobile quarterbacks to scramble against us to get positive yards.
George Gillette for 11 yards right there, and then this play just well executed for Oregon State. Nice fake over the middle, Joe Newton, and they pick up 19 on it.
Yeah, nice execution on the play. We had practiced against that play. We just, again, they caught us, and we weren't ready for it.
They go to right, and Haloti Nada was there to stuff the run on that play, and so Alexis Serta comes in, and defense holds them out. Even though they had a short field, they get the field goal, only 3-0.
Absolutely. Again, when that was set up, we should have had the ball back because we were rough on our punt, but unfortunately we interfered with the catch, and so it was negated.
Yeah, that was a tough break because it was just a foot that touched there, even when your player was trying to get away. So a 17-yard run for Terrence Whitehead, and then the Ducks go to the air.
2 receivers out there, one to the right. And Clemens back off the play, take the throw. Steps out of the pocket, has some time, throws it downfield, got a man wide open. There he is, Williams. Move inside to the 30, and that's where he'll go down.
This was a good play initially. Again, a lot of plays against Oregon State because they play very good pass defense, come on broken plays. Here, the sort of play action fake, and we do a nice job of riding the rush past Kellen. He steps up in the pocket, flushes out, finds an open receiver, hits him on the money.
All the way down to the Oregon State 30-yard line on the 24-yard gain for Demetrius Williams. Good to see Demetrius back in the lineup. Again, one of those juniors that should be back next year. After a couple of runs for no gain on 3rd and 10, complete to Garen Strong here. Nice play by Kellen. Nice catch.
Yeah, nice catch by Garen. The field was a little bit slippery with the dew point and stuff like that. Kellen does a nice job giving him a chance to catch it. And then off to the races, quarterback draw, design play. Really nice running by Kellen. Nice blocking up front, too.
All the way down to the 5-yard line. Ducks poised to take the lead here.
From the 4, 3rd down. Back to throw the ball. Pressure comes, rolls right. Look. Now we'll throw it back to the end zone. It's caught. It is caught. Tim Day.
This is a tremendous play by Kellen Clemens and Tim Day. Kellen gets flushed from the pocket. It's a design sprint out type play. Little play action fake. Nice block by Terrence Whitehead right there to get him outside. You see Tim working his way to the back corner of the end zone. They're playing sort of a zone combination man. And Kellen throws this where only Tim can catch it. Tim, great concentration and focus.
Nice look at it there. 9 plays, 71 yards, 429, a solid drive. Beavers come back. Anderson to Mike Hass, 17 yards. Hass on his way to a very big day. But again, the defense holds here right for 5 yards on this play and did a pretty good job against the run all day.
Yeah, they could not run straight ahead. They had some success running laterally and using their speed, which Dwight Wright is very fast back.
3rd and 1, incomplete, so Ducks get it back 1st and 10 at their own 6-yard line after the punt, and going to go ahead and go back to Terrence Whitehead. This is a big run for 22 yards.
Yeah, and again, got us out of the hole. Just tremendous run. Again, he cannot be tackled. Just a great job. You know, Terrence had a great season.
Takes a big hit there by Mitch Musin out of bounds, but a 22-yard gain worth another look. Just to show you, hey, how tough this kid is, a junior coming back next year.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. 1,000-yard ground gainer. And again, he takes a full shot right there by 2 guys, just bounces off, keeps on going, gets out of the pile. Nice block by Dante Rosario right there. Cut the lead runner. And then again, good pop, but he's going to go out of bounds there.
So, nice play. And then this is one of those things you talked about as you went to halftime, Coach. Just a disappointing play here. Interception on the play. Piscatelli steps in front. And again, the Beavers had the short field the entire first half.
Yeah, poorly thrown ball by Kellen. He's on the move. And again, this surface is a little bit different, and so you have to get used to it. But poorly thrown pass, and again, results in a short field for them. We get pressure on. Unfortunately, we slip and fall down right there. Can't make the tackle on Joe Newton.
Newton picks up 9 yards, and then Anderson looking towards Mike Hass for the touchdown, 28 yards on the scoring play. Beavers back on top, 10-7 at that point. And first quarter yardage even, each about 100 yards. The only difference at this point is really the turnover and the field position.
Absolutely. And we talked about the fact that we knew going in you cannot give them a short field. You can't get turnovers. We had to get turnovers, not give them away. And that was frustrating. And we certainly paid for those mistakes.
Derek Anderson certainly on a roll, playing what I think was maybe his best half of football in his career. That doesn't demean anything else he's done. He just played that well in the first half.
No, he played very well. He was accurate, made good choices, didn't put the ball up for grabs. And we knew going in, you sort of get one Derek or the other, and he was poised and ready to play.
All right, when we move on, Ducks moving the ball that long drive in the first quarter, and they get another one in the second quarter. Demetrius Williams making his presence known in this football game. Oregon football with Mike Bellotti continues right after this. Welcome back to the show, everyone. Let's get into the second quarter action. Oregon trailing this one by 3 against Oregon State in the 108th Civil War. A little ducky-do at the football game. And to start the quarter after a quick 3-and-out for Oregon and a short punt. So the short field again. And at the 36-yard line, boy, that one had a big opportunity there.
Yeah, and we tried to scoop and score. That was very, very frustrating because that's a fumble. It's a live ball. Obviously, Bellotti makes a career of this. I mean, he gets the quarterbacks very well and knocks the ball out right there. And again, it's on the ground. Ramon Reed comes through. I think he thinks he's going to just pick it up off the ground. He misses it. Robbie Valenzuela's there. Unfortunately, they get it, and this leads to points, which is a tough deal.
And if Ramon would have picked it up, he would have had a good chance to score. So they line up for the field goal, and then they bring the fake out. Colt Charles and Bill Swancutt makes the catch. Takes a hit out of bounds. Swancutt did everything on the day, and 17 yards to the 19. Another look at it.
Yeah, nice job. We are in a max block, and again, we talked about the fake on the sideline. Just, again, it's very difficult with your defense in there, but a nice job. Kudos to them.
Nice execution and a good pass by Charles. But again, the defense doesn't give up a touchdown, so the fake, he might have made that kick if they didn't fake it. You never know. And the defense, they get the ball in here, but again, the defense, a lot of times on the short field, even though they scored so many points and threw for so many yards, hold them to a lot of field goals.
Did a great job. Again, holding to a field goal here was a tremendous stand by the defense, especially after the fake. I think they came back and battled.
So 13-7 at that point. Ducks trailing it by 6, and that's kind of floated in that 6 to 13 range for a long time in this game. Whitehead loses 2, and then another one. Clemens looking downfield, and again, Houston steps in front. He's the leader in the nation among active players with 17 interceptions in his career. He knows how to get to the ball.
He did a nice job. Our receiver did not come back to the football, and Kellen got drilled just as he threw that ball. Our protection didn't hold up. So combinations of problems on that play, which were very frustrating.
Anderson to Haas for 19 yards, and then Derek, who's hot right now, to Love for 10 and a touchdown. 20-17 is the score. So you come out and you need a response here, and you get a nice response drive coming up.
Well, again, I felt like we were in the game all the time at this point, all the way through, even into the third quarter. We just we could never get that thing to get over the hump and get ahead.
Of course, I meant 20-7, and here the Ducks are moving the ball. You saw Williams with the catch. Penalty on Browner, moved it 15 yards down further, and then, boy, they get a little bit of help from the officials and from some personal fouls, and hey, at this point you take it.
Yeah, they're a very physical team in terms of their DBs on our wide receivers. We got a lot of penalties, which they were holding a great deal of time. That's part of their strategy. And again, it's going to get called. Nice first down conversion. Nice run by Terrence there, and then third down conversion by Kellen Clemens.
3 yards on the pickup, and then down to the 27-yard line. And then this is a nice play to Demetrius Williams for 15 yards. That actually takes it to the 27-yard line. And then back to Terrence Whitehead for a big play.
Yeah, Terrence, again, just great job of running, great patience, and then running through tackles. It almost gets in there. Very, very close in terms of whether he stepped out of bounds or the ball crossed the plane.
Clemens and Williams cash it in.
Now he comes to the left, and Osorio offset in the backfield. Second down and goal from the 12. Demetrius in motion and back and rolling right to throw. Now stop and steps, throws the ball. He's got him, and he's got a touchdown. Nope, it is Demetrius Williams.
Nice job again here, protection-wise for Kellen to survey the field. Great job by Demetrius coming under the defensive back. Makes a little move here. You can see Kellen's eyes will come back. It's a crossing route, double crossing route. Right there, beats Browner. Back to that side. Nice catch. Extends out for the ball. Touchdown.
8 plays, 72 yards. Makes it 20-14. So right in there, down by 6. This drive was a big one right at the end of the half. It started with 2:27 to go, and Wright had a yard. Then this 3rd-and-9 play, hey, at the worst, if you stop him here, you're going in 6th down. You might even have a chance to get some points, and he gets the first down running.
I was ready to call timeouts at about 1:50 on the 3rd down play, and then they got it converted. Nice job. But we were playing the screen so hard we forgot about the quarterback.
So once they got that first down on that long 3rd and 9, then they work it down the field pretty quick. George Gillette for 25 yards, and then Haas for another 12 down to the Oregon 1-yard line. So this was a real big turning point in the game. That conversion by Derek was maybe the play of the game.
Well, it certainly was very difficult. We had some momentum, only down 6 points, and then they get a chance to go up again by 2 scores.
So 27-14 at the half, and maybe Anderson's best half of his career. 15 of 20, 205 yards, 2 touchdowns. What did you say to the kids at halftime?
I talked about 30 minutes for the rest of your life. I talked about the fact that we were basically in a hole that we had dug, the turnovers, 2 turnovers in short field, and they'd taken advantage of it. We had done those things. But we had momentum. We're still within striking distance. I felt like we had a whole half to go. And the general tone in the locker room was good. They felt the same way. They understood what was in front of us, what we needed to do.
Defense actually made a big play coming out of the break as well. We'll get to that. Also, as we go to the half, we'll take a look at the Pac-10 highlights on Rivalry Day and the bowl picture. Plus, Oregon lost something much more important than a game this past week. We'll honor one of the great Ducks of all time when we return on Oregon Football with Mike Bellotti.
Welcome back to Oregon Football with Mike Bellotti. It was Rivalry Saturday throughout the Pac-10 this weekend. To the north, the Apple Cup, and to the south, the big game between Cal and Stanford at Berkeley's Memorial Stadium. No score, first quarter. Aaron Rodgers down the seam, and now we've got a score. It's Robert Jordan absorbing the hit, making the touchdown reception, and Cal rolls. 41-6 the final score on a day when tailback J.J. Arrington became the school's all-time leading rusher. Alex Brink, the former Sheldon star, leading Wazoo into the Apple Cup against Keith Gilbertson, his final game as Huskies coach, and it did not go well for Gilby, that is. For Brink, it went very, very well. He had a hand in 3 of Washington State's 4 touchdowns, and he is the quarterback of record as Washington State snaps a 7-year drought in the Apple Cup game. 28-25 the final score for Bill Doba's Washington State Cougars. All right, so here's a look at the Pac-10 bowl picture now, and this, of course, hinges on USC and Cal winning their remaining games and both going to the BCS. If they do, we'd likely have USC and Oklahoma or Auburn in the Orange Bowl. Elsewhere, it would be a Rose Bowl situation with Cal taking on Michigan, but Cal must get past what could be a trap game at Southern Miss. The Holiday Bowl will feature Arizona State and likely Texas A&M. Sun Bowl, it's Oregon State against either Purdue or Northwestern or Ohio State. And then in the Inside Bowl, it would be UCLA and Notre Dame in Tempe. Some sad news to report to you today. One of the great Ducks of all time passed away earlier this week, but not before beating odds that were stacked heavily against her. You may remember we featured Margie Wall on Oregon Football with Mike Bellotti following the Arizona game. The players, each and every one of them, greeting Margie as they left the field during warm-ups. Why? Because Margie was an inspiration. She was diagnosed with cancer 8 years ago and given just months to live, but she didn't accept that fate. She used the love of her family and her love for the Ducks to get to the next Oregon game. Then it was the next Oregon season. She lived 8 years, defying medical logic. Our thoughts and condolences to Margie Wall and her family, as well as her friends. Margie was 62. Well, last week we saw her in an Oregon shirt singing the national anthem. This week it was a Beaver shirt. And who can blame country music star Sarah Evans? Her husband, after all, is a Beaver. What a week for Evans, though. Brought down the house at Autzen last week. Her new album, Restless, is flying off the shelves so fast that it's hard to find it anywhere in Eugene. And there she is, back singing the national anthem at the Civil War a week later. The repeat appearance gave us an opportunity to talk to her about her last week as a Duck and this week as a Beaver, and about her new adopted home state.
Well, it's an honor. It really is. Last week at U of O and today here, I mean, it's just so amazing that they keep accepting me to do this. I love it. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely my home as well. You know, we live here part of the year, and so we just love it. Wish we could be here all the time.
And we certainly hope to see her again sometime soon. Joe obviously thinks she looks a little more comfortable in green and yellow. All right, a big thank you to her on behalf of all Duck and Beaver fans for taking the time to do what she did. All right, moving on to the third quarter now, when we return on Oregon Football with Mike Bellotti. Stay with us.
Welcome back, everyone. Oregon Football with Mike Bellotti. Joe John-Santian, the coach here, reliving a Civil War that didn't turn out the way we all hoped it would turn out, but that's the way it goes sometimes. And let's go on to the third quarter of action. Oregon still in the football game, down by 13 coming out of the quarter. And The Beavers started out with the football right for 14 yards here on this play, but then the defense starts to make a couple of nice plays and get you right back in the football game.
Well, we've talked about how we needed a turnover. Defense had to set the tone because they had the first series coming out, and they certainly showed up.
Anderson back to throw here, and sacked on this play. Didn't get to him maybe as much as some of us thought you would. How about you?
No, I think they did a nice job. They threw a lot of quick release passes, 5-step, and the ball's gone. And they did enough play action and stuff to keep us honest. Again, I felt like a couple times his scrambles hurt us badly in this game.
He gets the sack there, does Anthony Trucks. And then the next one, Ducks get right back in it.
18 at their own 36. Anderson straight drop back to throw. With time, way downfield, and it is intercepted at the 38. Back to the 50. 40, down the sideline to the 30. J.D. Nelson inside of 20 and out of bounds at the 15-yard line.
Great play by J.D. Nelson. Again, we said we needed a turnover. We got the turnover. He steps in front of the long pass. Receivers covered well down the field. We get a little pressure on Derek. He has to put the ball up. Again, floats it a little bit. J.D. comes over from the center field position, makes the interception. And he's a former running back from high school. Does a nice job here going down the sideline. Picks up a couple of key blocks. You can see right there. Trucks. And then Robbie Valenzuela gets another one. He's off. He switches the ball because he's going to cut back inside and then decides to stay down that sideline. But huge play, gives us field position and momentum.
And you can see behind there, you guys are fired up right then. I mean, that was a 49-yard return. And then Whitehead for 7 to the OSU 9. And, motion, momentum, all those things in your favor.
Absolutely. Again, Kellen on the option. They stuff it, don't give us a chance, but gets down to about the 2 or 3 yard line.
So Ducks in scoring position here, and then Clemens again on the quarterback draw. This time she picks up a couple more, just inching closer and closer. This time, 3rd and goal, Ducks get it in.
Lofton in motion across the formation. Clemens back to throw the ball into the end zone. Wide open, Tim Day, touchdown.
Nice job. They had the middle packed and were crashing their ends. We run a little play action pass off the edge, get the ball to Tim. Nice throw and catch. Again, you can see Kellen, a little bit of pressure coming right in his face. Bray, but nice throw right back shoulder. Nice hands by Tim. 2nd touchdown of the day.
Yeah, 2 catches, 2 touchdowns for Tim Day. Only 6 yards receiving, but 2 of them more points than yards. That doesn't happen very often. Beavers come right back and respond, though. This was, again, a big drive in this football game because you figure if you get the ball back with a chance to take the lead, but you never get that chance. Penalty right here on Chris Solomona.
Yeah, they said he held, and again, they called pass interference. I didn't think the ball was catchable, but again, it's very difficult.
So with that, the Beavers continue the drive, and there goes Derek Anderson again, and Solomona chases him down. He picked up 4 third down conversions running the football.
Yeah, that's very frustrating. Again, this was a frustrating play also. We're battling for the ball. We get the ball, almost hits in his chest. In fact, I thought it was actually going to be called the other way, but good coverage by Aaron Gibson.
Yeah, I think everybody kind of thought it was going to be offensive interference because Aaron was on the inside where the pass was, but didn't go that way, and the Beavers come back, and after those 2 penalties on the drive, get the touchdown, and 8 plays, 66 yards, 250 on the drive, and so they go back up by 13, and then Clemens back to throw. Bill Swancutt really starting to make his presence known now.
Yeah, Swancutt, you always have to count for. He's a great football player, plays with a great motor. Again, I thought that drive by Oregon State was really a tough one because we had a lot of momentum. Come back with a great throw right here. Terrence just cannot quite hang on to it. That's going to be a big play. He's probably still running if he catches it, and that's unfortunate.
Actually hit him on the shoulder pad. The ball never got over his shoulder, and incomplete on that one. So that was a big one. Here comes Swancutt again, putting pressure on Clemens. He's flushed out and then just throws it away. And so have to punt the ball from deep in your own territory. And they got the momentum, and they have a quick strike offense. Anderson, again, the short field to Gillette. Their average field position was around the 50-yard line.
Yeah, it was difficult, and we needed to get a couple first downs when we had the ball down deep. They had great field position most of the day. Great catch and throw right there. It's tough to stop that.
Mike Haas, 30 yards for the touchdown, 41-21. Now they finally have that separation in the game, and lots of time left. So are you still with the game plan here, or you start to throw a little bit more?
No, we're still with the game plan. I think this is still 3rd quarter, and again, we knew, though, that we needed to try to get some down-the-field throws, obviously, because you need some big plays when you're down 3 touchdowns or 3 scores.
Swancutt gets the sack there, and then a pass interference by Oregon State. Again, they are very physical in the secondary. They've been that way a lot.
Yeah, and they just say they know they're going to get a certain amount of penalties, and they're going to take that because they disrupt your timing on your pass routes and allow the pass rush to get to you.
Drive breaks down a little bit after that. Kellen just throws that one too high for Kyle Weatherspoon. And then 3rd and 10. And again, in Beaver territory and just not getting the good throw on this play and have to punt it away.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that just he was throwing that one away because of the coverage or just the ball came off his hand wrong.
So the Beavers get the football back, and now with that big lead, and Anderson incomplete to Haas, so 3rd and 7, and here he does it again. Picks up 9. This was, Derek said after the game, the first game he's ever played where he had positive rushing yardage, and picked a good time to do it if you're a Beaver, not for the Ducks, because he got the first down there. And then right here, goes back, throws it over the middle, get another completion, and down the field the Beavers go.
Well, we do a very poor job of tackling right there. We're in man-to-man coverage. We lose our first coverage guy, and then we miss about 3 tackles, which is frustrating.
35 yards on that play. Then Dwight Wright for 21 yards, and Ryan Gilliam gets in front there and knocks him down. And the Beavers have a chance to try to get it in the end zone again. Anderson looking for Joe Newton, and just not quite able to get it. J.D. Nelson on the coverage. And then also going in looking for Josh Hawkins, and this one is also incomplete, so Alexis Cerna comes in again. 5 field goals he kicked on the day. Got to give that guy a lot of credit coming back from what he went through early in the season.
Yeah, I said that to his coach and said to him, he really is a tough young man because he started off slow, but he's finished very strong.
And that is the end of the 3rd quarter, so when we return, we'll go ahead and get through that 4th quarter of action and then start looking ahead. Oregon football with Mike Bellotti continues right after this. Welcome back, everyone. There will be a bright day just like that one at Autzen Stadium coming up next year. Some big games at Autzen, and big season. It's a great home schedule next year with USC coming in, Washington, the Beavers coming back to Autzen next year. That'll be a lot of fun. Of course, got a while to talk about that. And let's get on to the 4th quarter of this one, and let's just get through this 4th quarter. Start out, the Beavers have it on their own 40, facing a 3rd and 9, and Mike Haas for 14 yards here and a first down. So they continue to move the football a little bit. Anderson to Newton for 8 yards. They also get a roughing the passer penalty on this play, and 15 more for that. So the Beavers just, at this point, just with momentum, and they've got that separation. They're feeling very confident, and they're just having a lot of fun.
Yeah, they're making plays, and again, that was an interference call. It was difficult. I thought that was great coverage. But obviously, again, they're making plays, and they're able to throw the ball down the field.
Again, the drive gets a couple penalties. Penalties kind of bit you again in this game when really they had not been much of a factor for the last 5 games.
Right, and rivalry games, that the emotions are up and going, and you just have to control it.
So Cerna back on to kick again, and he sends this one up and through. It's great height on his kicks as well. 47-21 at that point, and so the Beavers have their biggest number ever on Oregon. And you go back, Terrence Whitehead still working hard. Everybody's still giving great effort.
Yeah, the kids didn't quit, and again, it was going to be Kellen's game to win. Unfortunate thing here, Swancutt steps in front of the shovel pass and does a great job.
So, boy, Swancutt all over the place. He had a catch, a pick, some sacks, all over the place on the day. Beavers not able to get a first down, though, on the short field. Cole for a yard, Jerry Mattson in on the stop, and they had a couple of incompletions. So, guess who trots out again? It's Alexis Cerna. He earned his scholarship, probably. He's not a scholarship player, but he probably earned it on this day against Oregon as that goes through. 31-yard field goal, 50-21 is the score. And then Ducks come back. Clemens for Terrence Whitehead for 6. And you got to feel happy for Terrence having the year that he had. He had a great year.
He had a tremendous year. He, is an outstanding football player and does everything we ask of him, blocking, running with the football, catching the ball. Nice throw and catch for Kyle Witherspoon right there, another young guy.
Also a young guy. And then this one looking for Dante Rosario, and Dante didn't come up with it. But Dante actually had a pretty good season as well. A lot of touchdowns.
Great season. And again, we just have to find more ways to use him, keep him involved in the system. Protection breaks down. Probably a coverage sack there, although Kellen should have come out this same side as opposed to going back away from protection.
So Dittman punts it away. Beavers get it. Doesn't mean like guys like Jerry Mattson are going to stop playing. And smacks Ryan Cole. You feel good about Jerry Mattson, the senior. We're going to talk with Jerry a little bit later here in the show. But, hey, great career for Jerry Mattson.
Jerry Mattson's a self-made man. He's a great football player, a great leader, done a great job for our football. He just reads that one, beats the guard's block, and comes in and smacks the enemy.
Mattson, one of those guys that, Portland State didn't even look at and felt snubbed by teams like Idaho. And here he came to Oregon, had a great career. So he was certainly a diamond in the rough, and all the credit in the world to Jerry Mattson. Again, we'll talk more about him later. And some young guys getting in the game. David Dixon getting a chance to run the football a little bit, a little face mask there, and good to see some of the young guys.
Yeah, Dennis Dixon, we had to get him some time and work. And again, there's a limited amount of plays he's going to run, but he's a fast guy with the ball. He didn't get a chance to really warm up his arm as much as we would like, so we called some design quarterback runs. And again, he's very difficult to tackle in the open field.
12 yards on the play, and there you see the Oregon students who were on the field. That could have been a dangerous situation. Glad it didn't turn out that way. And here's Dixon again for 6 more yards, 50-21 the final score. He actually should have had another play because there was a penalty on Oregon State, but the referees just said forget it. You see him there in the corner, and they just called the game when the Beaver fans ran on the field. Would have been nice to get a chance to get another touchdown there, but that's the way it goes.
Yeah, it would have been nice. It would have mattered a lot, except for team psyche, and get some of those young guys, get that score in at the end of the game would have been nice.
So a big win for the Beavers, just the second time in 30 years that the Beavers have finished ahead of Oregon in the Pac-10 standings. This one earns them a bowl game, and for Oregon, the long walk to the locker room to ponder the end of the season.
They stunned us, hats are off to them. They played a good ball game, and they went out there and, played the kind of football they wanted to play.
They played well. They were doing good things. He was making great passes. Mike Haas had a lot of great grabs, and they just played well today. It's just nothing I can else pretty much say. They just played real well.
I won't dwell on it at all. I'm an athlete. I want to play. I want to get on the field. And as soon as we can get back out there, the better. Because right now, everybody got a nasty taste in their mouth. They don't feel too great, but we can't blame nobody but ourselves.
It's real disappointing, especially to lose like that and send seniors out that way. But yeah, I really think that's like the first game where we really didn't compete at all. Score 50-21. It's really kind of embarrassing.
It's sad to go 5-6 and not 6-5 and be bowl eligible and go to a bowl game. And it's losing to Oregon State. Our rival is not good, especially where we lost. So I'm gonna wear this on my sleeves for a long time and just use this to motivate me for the off season to work hard.
Once all the older guys left and I started playing, we've been underachieving. I've been trying really hard, trying to help to get this back to where it used to be. I don't know, we've been struggling, but I think we can. We got a good team, we got good athletes, and we just got to find it.
It's horrible. This is. I don't know if you'd have talked about us sitting here at 5-6 at the beginning of the season and not going to a bowl game and not having a winning season. I'd have, no offense, but I'd probably called you a liar. But this is the most empty feeling I think I've ever had.
So obviously a lot of disappointment, and you hear the guys talk. Tim Day says, you got to find it. A lot of the guys with the same sort of idea. How do you find it? I know that's such a difficult question, but what do you think needs to happen? What needs to change?
Well, it's a combination of things. It's playmakers stepping up. It's being healthy. It's a group, the chemistry. I think chemistry of this group and chemistry and unity were good. We did not make plays sometimes when it counted down the stretch, and I think that's on all of us. I mean, coaches and players alike. To me, it's a combination of going back to work ethic, off-season stuff, looking at what we've done, how we call things. There's a lot of things right now, and it's probably too close and too soon. Mm-hmm. I think that I'll sit down with my staff the next couple of days in terms of get recruiting going and then evaluate the season and the game both, because you don't make decisions based on one game. You look at the season, you look at what you've done and what you haven't done, and then figure out, okay, are we calling the right things? Are we asking people to do the right things? Can they do it? Do we need to find somebody that can? All those things factor into where you go from here. And certainly, I say this honestly, sometimes it's a wake-up call. Sometimes you need a wake-up call to shake yourself up, to not assume just because you put the uniform on that all of a sudden it's going to make a difference, we're going to win, or that just because we're Oregon. We have to reestablish that every year, that belief, that confidence, that trust.
And this game was not characteristic of the rest of the year because you were really in every game, and that includes the Oklahoma game. Mm-hmm. Even though they won 31-7, you were in that game all the way till midway through the fourth quarter. So this was different, out of characteristic of what this football team did this year.
Yeah, we got beat by our own mistakes, and we could not come up with an answer for their passing game. And that we have answered that in every single game this year. And really, I felt like they played a very, very good football game. My hats are off to the Beavers, obviously, and I really do give them credit because Derek Anderson and Mike Haas made a difference in that football game that we couldn't answer. Now, having said that, we're going to face those type of things all the time, and we've done it. We've done a very good job of it. The combination of mistakes and turnovers offensively contributed to that, put the defense in a very difficult situation. But we need to look at ourselves across the board and say, okay, what can I do, first of all, to get better? What can we do to get better? And then let's do it.
So I know you got your banquet coming up in a little bit, but a little silver lining, maybe you could tell the team this, too. Last time Oregon came off a losing season, the next year, they went to the Rose Bowl. All right, it's become our tradition on the final show of the year. First Joey, then Keenan, Kevin Mitchell as well. One final walkthrough auction with our Senior Player of the Year. And this year, it goes to a guy with as much heart and soul as anyone you're ever going to meet. Our Senior Player of the Year, Jerry Mattson, one-on-one at Autzen when we return on Oregon Football with Mike Bellotti. Well, Jerry, congratulations on being named our Senior Player of the Year this year. You had a good year, and it was a fun year. Tell me about it a little bit.
Our defense just kind of came together as a unit, and got to know a lot of guys even better than I knew them before, and just enjoyed playing with them. It's sad that we underperformed because this team was so loaded, and I just kept on waiting for us to bust out into a 10-2 season or whatever. But I got a lot of memories from the season anyways because just the guys on my team and the way they played too, a lot of fight in this team and a lot of camaraderie nonetheless, and that's kind of stuff you remember in 30 years when I see them on the street sometimes, you know.
Could this have been a Rose Bowl team?
You know what? I really thought that's what was going to happen this year. I thought after 2 games of all the things with Indiana, I was like, oh, who cares? That's bad luck, Then Oklahoma's a good, solid team in the heat on the road, and I thought it was going to be all straight. Because our defense, I was so impressed by them, and our offense was so stocked with senior linemen from Adam and Stites and Knievel, and we had a new center, Inoka, but he was amazing, and we had these receivers, and I thought we had all the chemistry and all the athleticism to have a Rose Bowl year, but we lost a lot of games in the last 2 or 3 plays of the game this year, and usually in the past it's been the other way. We've won 4 or 5 games. I know when I was a redshirt freshman, we won 4 or 5 games in the last fourth quarter. And Joey won by a point or 2, and we could have been 5-5, but we instead were 10-2, 11-1, because we won those games. And this year, I don't know if it's a ball bounce or whatever, but we lost by 1 play.
What is the difference, do you think? Is there anything you can put your finger on what the difference is? Is it a leadership thing? If you had to look at one thing, what would it be, the difference between winning those games and not winning them?
Well, sometimes I think people see the results and they try to fill in the blank with an adjective, But our mindset, our work ethic is all the same, and if we catch the ball or not, it's like we had the same thing. Like Kellen, the thing about Kellen is he's such a hard-working person that I know that his intentions are to win, and he's going to do every possible thing he can possibly do. And if he throws the ball underthrows, overthrows, he catches a touchdown, it's the same mindset. He already did all the same work, so it's just about making those plays. And sometimes when they make a couple plays in a row, they're like, oh, he was a great this or that, but sometimes he doesn't, And I think he's the same quality of guy, and just the breaks, sometimes that's how it goes, And we were injured a little bit, and we need some people, but it's kind of how it went this year.
How about for you, just some memories that you'll take from not just this year, but the 4 years? And can you pick 1 or 2 out that really stick out? Certainly did great against the Washington schools.
Yeah, I take pride in playing well against not only Washington schools or Oregon State, this small school like Portland State or Idaho. Those teams are really not only you pass them by UW, but you pass them by Idaho. They tell you that you're not good enough for their program.
We should tell that again. That Idaho, Portland State, those people, they didn't even want you to come, and now look, you played at Oregon, and look where you are.
So people wonder why I'm so fired up sometimes about playing those schools. And I'm like salivating at the mouth, like, what's Portland State fires you up? I'm like, you don't understand. Everybody passed on me. So.
Why did they pass on you? What did they say?
Oh, they would come in and during the rest of the season, and they'd ask all these questions, like, how big are you again? How big are you again? And I'm like, after so many time, I'm like, I'm pretty reserved, but every once in a while I get fired up. I'm like, you don't know me. You don't know. I had to put in so much work, and I was just disappointed. And the more you invest in something, the more you care about it, And I just didn't want my life of competition to be done. And I did well in high school. I guess looking back at it, I was a skinny little kid from Washington, so maybe that's how it is. And
isn't there something to be said though about a guy that just comes in and gets there because of heart and all that stuff? Isn't that really what Jerry Mattson's all about?
Yeah, I believe there are people who think there's so many parameters on what they can do, and you can just will. Sometimes I say I can just will my way into a lot of things. I can just will my way to do this or that, and there's so many guys I would see each day slips by. You don't have to win the series every day. Just do a tiny bit more, and it adds up over a long time, and you can kind of will your way into things, I watch so many guys that go through every program that are so athletic that should be in the NFL or should be somewhere else,
or should be playing and me not. But it just, that's how it goes some way. You know, you got to take care of a lot of little things besides just being big and athletic. And it takes a while to let the coaches realize that. A lot of fun taking a walk with Jerry Matz. We'll have the rest of that on the Monday night show tomorrow night because he was so good. We just went on and kept walking. So we'll have the rest of that on the Monday night show tomorrow night after Monday Night Football. But, you know, you have your banquet today. You're saying goodbye to your seniors. That's one of the guys it's hard to say goodbye to.
It is, because, Jerry, you get a sense of when he gets going and gets rolling, his voice picks up speed and it picks up intensity and enthusiasm. That's the way he plays, too. He's a guy that's always worked very, very hard, done the right things, and done a little bit extra to get better every day.
And the other seniors as well, 21 seniors sending on their way today.
Yeah, it's hard. I say that. I said goodbye to every one of them last night in the locker room, just told them thank you very much, and I apologize to them because we didn't make their going out as good as we would like it. It's a shorter season than we're used to, but I appreciated their effort and what they've contributed to Oregon football and just being part of it. And it's hard. I think you forget sometimes whether it's 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, or 5 years, those kids become a part of your life. We're a part of their life, and hopefully it's a positive thing that they can look back on and say, you know, I grew as a young man. I know more about myself and how to compete and how to cooperate, how to lead, how to follow, all those things.
And don't forget, a lot of those kids have a ring from the Fiesta Bowl and an outright Pac-10 championship. Robbie Valenzuela, Snyder Stites, all those guys. So those guys were a part of some of the great moments of Oregon football. All right, when we return, we'll look ahead. A good nucleus coming back and just trying to find a silver lining in this one. I mentioned about the Rose Bowl the next year. We'll talk about a mindset that this Oregon football team will have going into next year and some talent as well. That coming up next on Oregon Football with Mike Bellotti right after this.
This Oregon sports program is brought to you by Comcast.
Welcome back to the show, everyone, and quick look now, looking ahead, a lot of people coming back. This will be a senior-led team next year with Kellen, Demetrius, Tim Day, Dante's coming back. He won't be a senior, but he's back. I mean, you have a lot of great guys coming back.
We do. We have a lot of firepower. You know, we lose 2 linebackers, 2 D linemen, 3 offensive linemen, and 1 wide receiver, and our kicker, all-time leading scorer. So we got to make up some ground there. But overall, I think Paul Martinez is ready to kick at this level and do a very good job. The playmakers on both sides of the ball return. I like the nucleus of this group. It's interesting. We got to build from the bottom up, though. You got to standardize and solidify that defensive line and offensive line.
So that's really where the focus will be, because it's really the same offense with new offensive linemen in there. Also defensive line, you know, Haloti come back, Devin Long, those guys as well. So that'll wrap it for the season. Coach, thanks so much for coming in. I really appreciate it. People should know how gracious the coach is to do this. It's really the only hour-long coaches show in the entire country. Coach is great about doing it, and we appreciate it so much. And we enjoy doing this show for you, and we thank you so much for watching it every week. We'll see you next time on Oregon Football with Mike Bellotti.